Hello, that's 51st Parallel. My name is Sam. Today on the podcast, we have someone really special. Everyone, please welcome Ryan Gosling. Now, I'm pretty sure you'd be happy to hear that from me. However, that's not the case, at least for today. In this episode, we have just another Ryan. Let's begin. Okay, hello, Ryan.
Oh, hello, Sam.
How are you doing?
Pretty fine this evening, actually. So, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. We're about to record a podcast. And first of all, probably I would like to ask you, what country are you from?
I'm ethnically Indian, but I'm from the UAE. So, for the Polish viewers, it's Zjednoczone Emiraty Arabskie. I'm from Dubai, actually.
Right from the get-go, you shed some light on the subject of how long have you been here, and I suppose that you've been here for a while.
Yes, actually, I've been here for around 3 years now. You can basically say I'm Polish. I know the culture, I know the history, and I'm slowly integrating into the Polish culture. So, also learning the language as well. So, I think I'm doing a good job there.
And also, I remember when I first met you, I asked you if you're from India or from Bangladesh. So I wasn't that far from the answer, right?
Yes, not really far, same continent. So good job on that. Actually, the Middle East is it's something where it's called the MENA region. So it's Middle East and Northern Africa. But yes, since I look ethnically Indian, yes, people do confuse that pretty often.
I see how it is. What can you tell about the United Arab Emirates?
It's very rich, basically. Well, it was like in 1972 is when they found that we have oil in the country, and soon after that, due to the great leaders of our country, they worked on it, and as an idea, they said that of course oil is going to run out one day or the other, so let's make our country more tourist oriented, and due to that is why people know Dubai actually. Like in the mid 2000s, you could say Dubai was basically just Mercedes cars, rich people, and a few buildings. But right now, it's like literally everyone wants to stay there, and also we have no taxes. We do have a VAT, which came out like in 2017, but it was like a shocker for many people. But otherwise, yes, we don't pay land tax, income tax, and so on. So it's like a safe haven for rich people, we could say.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's where we are at this moment. So.
Well, I mean, that's a good strategy to lure some more rich people to this country,
True,
right?
true.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still not sure how they build the GDP because the gross domestic product works on the people's income and so on. But I'm pretty sure that the way it works is that they invest back into the country by buying houses or maybe even general groceries and so on. So that's why they get their money back and no income tax is required. And also, as a downside of this, we don't have free education. And also our health insurance is private, but it's way better than the Polish health insurance. I'm happy that we have really great systems.
One of the things that is useful here to mention is that you have basically people from all around the world.
If you're talking about the UAE, then of course everyone is from everywhere. It's a very welcoming country and very tolerable, no matter what your religion is, your sex is, and so on. So overall, it's a really good country to stay in. I recommend you guys take a flight over there. It's expensive in the peak times, but try to find a cheap deal and you should be able to get there for sure.
Okay. When was the last time you were there?
Actually, since I'm not an EU citizen, there's like a procedure where I have to apply for my temporary residence. And I applied that, let's say, almost 2.5 years ago. And like literally last July is when I get my fingerprints. So I'm waiting for the decision so I can go back this December, hopefully, to attend Christmas with my family and so on. But yeah, that's where it is right now. So I haven't been back home to Dubai soon, in the near future, near past actually. But in the near future, I really want to go there. So I'll be seeing my family again.
One of the things that surprised me was that you have these I'm not sure if you call it like metro,
Yeah.
like public transportation
Yes.
system, which is basically autonomous, right?
Yes, it is
Hmm.
autonomous. It's actually from a Japanese manufacturer, and they had like a huge deal. So yes, it's autonomous. There's no delays. Every 5 minutes, you get a new, like a new metro, new train coming to your station. So even if you're like, let's say, a bit delayed, you will almost make it in time. Uh, and also as for the bus system, it is of course manned, but they're all electric. I think from like 2020, and as well as they also have trams as well, but it's not like really big. It's only for like a specific area. And those are manned, so unfortunate, but the metros are pretty reliable, and yeah.
There is something like women train car. So what's the deal with that?
Okay, so the UAE really respects women as people itself, and due to the fact that the metro is very reliable, many people do not. Well, of course, everyone has cars, but and also the fuel price is cheap. But just like it's like general rule that you don't want to increase the carbon footprint of the country, so everyone travels via metro, and it gets really jam packed at times, and just for the safety of women and so on, and so that nothing bad happens, they always have a woman's cabin in the front. It's like an entire bogie, and it's only women can enter, and if a man is found there, of course, if you're like a child or a teenager, it's not really heavily implemented, but if you're a man and if you're in this bogie, you get fined like really heavy sum. And also the fining system is very big in our country, so that's why no one wants to steal something, or if you leave your laptop behind, no one wants to take it because the fines are really huge and no one wants to pay that. So yeah.
Of course not. I mean, yeah, but but still interesting that you have something like that. And actually that's probably one of the, good solutions. If you have many people, of course you want to, protect women as well. So
Yes.
that's nice. Speaking of, again, like your country, did you study there? I mean, like at the university?
No, actually, I'm 20, so I'm still in my bachelor's degree. I did study my from kindergarten to high school in Dubai, and it was expensive. Well, like every year, they increase like 10,000 so they maybe per year, of course. So yeah, in the overall, it's really expensive to study there, but it makes sense because we don't pay taxes, so there's no free education. But yeah, when I wanted to come for university, I finished my education during COVID. So, uh, what do I say? There was like really unpredictable scores given to us because of we didn't write a test to like Matura. So it was like your probable grades and also your grades from your last 2 years of like beginning of high school and so on. And yeah, I did get like a decent grade, like around 80 plus, I believe, 80%. But the scholarship they gave me was like 30%, which was like barely like anything. It makes a dent on your overall career fees. So yeah, and then I was looking for European countries. I did get into Germany, but of course over there it was the the medium of teaching was in German, and I didn't want to speak German, so the other option was Poland actually, and it was pretty cheap here to study. So, well, not cheap, but comparatively it is cheap. So yes.
Okay, I see. I see. And what do you study here then?
I study electronics and computer science engineering, in English, of course, and I'm in my 5th semester, so rocking it hard, I guess.
What can you say about Poland?
Uh, it's in Central Europe. Is that enough?
Okay, I see. No, I just wanted to hear your, let's say, attitude
yeah.
towards this country.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to take any political stance because I don't have any eligible right to vote, so I don't know much about it. But yes, I heard that most people do not like the current government, and right now I think it's your election time as well. Otherwise, the culture-wise, it's really funny sometimes, and also very nice to see. When it comes to like places. So of course, if you might know that Dubai is like literally every building is new and there are no historical artifacts or historical buildings. But over here, especially when I came to Wrocław, like the entire Vinik is so beautiful just because of the olden style architecture and so on.
What have you visited here in Poland so far?
In Poland, actually, I visited the Tri-City on the top, Gdansk, Sopot, and Gdynia. I visited Krakow. I've visited Wrocław, actually, and Warsaw. But Warsaw is like, again, like Dubai, it's pretty modernized and tall buildings, so it's not my favorite at the moment. And yeah, that's all I think at the moment. And soon I will probably visit other cities in Dolnośląsk as well, since, we will come back to the reason why I'm going to Dolnośląsk in general later on. But yeah, so these are the main cities I visited. Of course, I visited like small places as well, like Schlandra, or even like other spot, but in Germany. But yeah, places like this. So yeah, generally I've visited these main cities and some small places as well, like Milch is pretty close by. Also Zgorzelec, close to Germany. So yeah.
Very nice. What about some other countries?
Other countries I haven't had the chance to visit yet. Like from the time I've been studying here, like from Poland. But when I was in the UAE, I visited many countries like US and Turkey and so on, but not from the time I've been here. So yeah.
What are your plans for the future?
Honestly,
do you want still to stay in this field, like of computer science?
Yes, but more into like a depth. Because right now I'm studying more of like electronics and computer science, so it's more like programming robots, microcontrollers, and stuff like these. Well, the first 2 years were like basics, like physics, math, algebra, and so on. And now it's more oriented towards microcontrollers and robots and stuff like this. But I like always had a passion for like artificial intelligence, so I might go into that field in my master's degree, or also might work in something of data analysis or data science, because that's like the most wanted job at the moment. So probably there.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, mostly in sitting behind a laptop and writing some code would be my main job.
Okay, I see. Do you have any plans of doing your master's here in Poland, or you want to try another country?
Honestly, at the moment, I haven't thought of it, because there are also some other life commitments I have right now over here. So thinking of all those into consideration, I might decide, I still have 1 year, so I think I will decide in a year probably.
Let me ask you about your activity here on campus, because
Okay.
you're also a part of this. I don't remember the abbreviation, but it was like 3 letters, and it concerns Erasmus. Is that correct?
Yes. So I am the project manager at Erasmus Student Network Politechnika Wrocławska. Well, it is the main branch of Politechnika Wrocławska, but we also include like WSB, UWR, UPWR, and so on. Like these universities don't have their own section, so they come join us as well, WF as well. So yeah, that's where I work. Well, volunteer at the moment. I don't get paid, but yes, this is what I do. And my job as a project manager is to look after coordinators who plan events, also try to make some new events, and overall have a good time with Erasmus who come here. But the events are also welcome to Polish people and full-time students over here as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, why was that your choice to join this organization?
It's a really funny story, honestly. So it was like, I think DAS. So DAS is Dni Aktywności Studenckiej in Polish. In English, it's like active days for students. And I was just going through all the clubs and so on, trying to get some freebies. So I was going through all of them. All of the people do speak English, but they do let me know that we are going to have our meetings in Polish, or let's say our like charters and so on in Polish. So I usually wanted to go to a club where something's related to my field, but unfortunately they only spoke Polish over there, and maybe they got scared of my proficiency. I'm not sure what was the reason. So they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you cannot join us." And then I was scrolling till the end, and I saw ESN, and there were like two lovely people who told me about the entire organization and why they do this and so on, and I liked it. and I applied for accreditation, gave a small interview, and yeah, got in. And now I take interviews together with the HR manager. So yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Do you like this? I wanted to say, do you like this job? But since you were, as you mentioned, not paid, do you like your volunteering activity?
Yes, I like it. Yes, of course. There's some ups and downs when it comes to any job or any volunteer.
Okay, let's call it a job.
Let's call it job for now. Yeah. So any job, there's ups and downs, but overall, it's a nice feeling to be a project manager, in my opinion, where you get to plan events, go for events, and the only good part is if you like to party, you get free alcohol and you get free entrances. But unfortunately, I'm not a party guy and I don't go for parties, but I do get to go for free for some trips if I need to, like to Krakow, Zakopane. And that's what I was saying. I would visit Dolny Śląski even more because of the fact that now I get to go for free to, let's say, Wabrzę or to other cities in Dolny Śląsk because they're like our partners at the moment. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. By the way, I'm just, I'm still surprised by your Polish because a lot of people actually struggle with learning this language. So what is your secret? Like, have you been to some courses? Maybe you're doing one right now.
Oh no, unfortunately not. I did not take any course or let's say language classes or groups. So at the beginning I was working in McDonald's and I wanted to go up the ranks. So they said, bro, if you want to go up the ranks, you got to learn Polish because there's no way we're going to. Well, it's like a general notion that if you don't know Polish, they usually keep you in the kitchen. And I didn't want to work in the kitchen all the time, so I wanted to work in the front of the house as well. And so slowly by asking people and so on, I got to learn Polish. And yeah, so that's how it is. And also I have like great friends in my university, in my course as well. Well, actually, as a fact, more than half of my course is filled with Polish students, which is weird for me, honestly, because there's also the same course in Polish, but I think they prefer to do it in English. I'm not sure what's the reason. So even they taught me Polish. And I think when you come from a multi-diverse country, you get to learn other languages as well. So like I know a little bit of Filipino, I know a little bit of like Indian languages as well because of the fact that everyone in my old country, well, in my country, speak these languages. So just like, by hearing and seeing how they pronounce stuff is the way I learn Polish, basically. And asking questions is really important. Yes, there are some words in Polish which are really, really hard, like the name Małgorzata. Like that's really hard to pronounce, but asking them how they say their name would get you further, I guess, in learning the language.
You did great. You pronounced it correctly, and also, like, I mean, sorry, I couldn't avoid laughing, but it almost sounds like a success story. You had everything, like motivation. You had this commitment, and also like yeah. I mean, just. Any success story, and yeah, of course, competition because you didn't want to stay in the kitchen. Right?
Yeah, and also after I learned enough Polish, they promoted me to instructor and so on. But it's still working at McDonald's and not something in my field. So of course, I left the job and I started working on getting my CV better. So that's where it is right now.
Definitely sounds like a success story.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, let's see where it brings you, let's say. And what are some events that you plan in the near future?
Yes, with ESN, we love to get them to party. So we always have some parties which are themed in general. Probably in November, we should have a pub crawl, which I invite you as well. It's really fun. We go to different bars and drink and do challenges as well, like going to the police and saying I love them, or exchanging clothes with the opposite sex and stuff like this is what we do, just to make it more fun and entertaining for these 3 hours, and then later on they go to a club. We also have a trip to Wabrzę with Samorząd Studencki, actually, which is going to happen, I believe, in the 22nd. We will have from 27th to 29th a trip to Krakow this month. And many more to come, honestly. I do not have a perfect timeline, or I have not made a Gantt chart of what's going to happen when. But these are the things which will happen sooner or later. But yeah, also if you have any recommendations, you guys can let me know for sure, so we can make it happen.
Okay, sure. By the way, do you recruit people in your organization? So how, for example, if someone who is listening to this podcast right now wants to be a part of, again, like ESN, right? So how to apply?
Unfortunately, the recruitation for the winter semester is over, but we will be recruiting you again in the summer. And the way to apply is usually you will see the form on Instagram or Facebook or on your groups, and there'll be a sign up form. So go ahead and sign up to it, and the HR manager will call you for an impromptu meeting. Probably I will be there as well, asking you some questions, explaining how our section works and so on. The working groups like party, sports, social inclusion, culture, and so on. And if we like the way you reply to us, we will call you back, and you will be inducted to the section, and you will be assigned a mentor who is someone who is, let's say, more experienced with how things work. And and then so sooner or later you might also take my job in the near future. So.
Okay, but yeah, of course you'll be hired, right?
Yeah. We do have a hierarchy, so it's like a board. It's the president, the project manager, communication manager, HR manager, and the treasurer. Then are my team of coordinators, of course. So there's like coordinators for every working group. And then there's ordinary members. And then we finish up with newbies. So we have like a 6-month induction period where we look at how you work and so on. And if you like it, just like how a company works, we see how you're working. And if we like the way you work, we usually let you become an ordinary member. And once you're an ordinary member, you have voting rights. So you can vote whether you want to see the next person as a project manager or someone like this.
Great. So now you have the answer, basically. Like, if you want to join ESN, just stand by, fill out the form when it appears somewhere, and yeah, they'll contact you. That's great. Also, probably one more thing I wanted to ask you was, you accidentally said something like, I mean, not accidentally, but you said something like, in my country, referring to India. So what is your relationship with India, let's say? How do you feel? Like, do you feel that you're from UAE or like India, or, and actually, have you been to India?
Yes, of course. Question. I've been to India. My grandparents still live in India, so I've been to India. The way it works is like, I've been living in the UAE for so long that I'm not going to say I lost my roots because that's completely obnoxious. But let's say I've been a little out of touch with my Indian origin. But yes, so I am from India, you could say, honestly. But of course, let's say, it's like someone from Africa goes to America and then he lives in America forever. He's not going to say he lost his African roots, but for sure he's American. So something like that, in that way.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it was Ryan, everyone. And by the way, do you have anything to add here to the podcast?
I'm not sure, honestly. If you have anything to ask me, sure.
No, actually, it was a difficult day for me. A lot of classes, work, and also that's actually the second podcast I'm recording today. So,
all right.
3 hours of straight talking is not that easy.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan, and let's say goodbye to our listeners.
All right,
goodbye.
So you guys have a great day, and I'm not sure. Will I see them again? We'll see if we schedule another one. Yes.
Yep. This podcast was recorded at Radio Luz LUZ on campus of Wrocław University of Science and Technology. You can find more episodes on our YouTube channel, as well as on various other platforms connected to Radio Luz. You can write to us to 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com, which is 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and see you next time.